Do you think gender matters?
Yes, I have an agenda for the people of Kenya.
Women know their vocabulary.
That is why I love my wife very close to me, advising me.
I think I should be debating your wife instead of you, though. Because if you leave this country to be run by hooligans...
Some rules are meant to be broken because they are simply barriers to progress.
Kijana fupi amenona round. Molmolwas. Walai. Kitawaramba.
We're going to switch up the gears a little bit, all right? We're going to go political. From emotional trauma to political drama. But for this next pair of debaters, much like our politicians, please do not take them seriously. Don't believe anything they say. They are saying it only to win your votes. That being said, of course, we've been through a lot as a country. We have gone from bad roads, poor health, substandard fertilizer. Even our doctors are striking better than our footballers. Those overachievers, always winning. But worry not, Kenyans, because tonight we have two presidential candidates ready with manifestos and promises of new and improved Kenya. Fresh from the kitchen frying pan into the political fire, a very proud member and leader of the WOTM, that is the Women on Top movement. A lady with a Master of Science in Applied Degree Makeup. Give it up for my good friend, Ruth Nyambura. Mheshimiwa Ruth Nyambura. She's running to be president. Yes! Ndio Mheshimiwa. Karibu sana Mheshimiwa. Welcome. All right. And the next debater, all the way from insert Kenyan county. Listen, this is an international show, and this was written by international writers. We have the leader of a very struggling political party called CCM, Chama cha Mapambano. Make some noise for Titus Mutai! Yes! Yeah! Needs no introduction. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Karibu Mheshimiwa. Chairman. He looks like he's won a seat or two. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, the winner of this debate gets to run something down. i.e. this country. So please, introduce yourself, starting with Titus. Titus, you have some minutes to do.
Fellow citizens, wananchi eh? Wananchi ya? Wananchi eh? Wananchi ya? This is a very important moment. And the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands during times of comfort and convenience. Rather where he stands when things are challenging and pretty tough. Which brings me to the reason why I'm running for office. Millions of our youths do not have jobs. Businesses are closing down. And the cost of living is becoming extremely unbearable. We cannot simply sit down and do nothing about that. We have to do something. My administration will launch an extreme job hunting challenge for the extremely unemployed Kenyans. I shall personally visit all ailing businesses to offer motivational speeches to our entrepreneurs. Because they are generally demoralized. And to lower the cost of living, we will speak to our coastal leaders because this is a coastal problem. Now, At the end of this debate, my opponent will demonstrate to you that she's clueless, planless, rudderless, and shameless. I rest my case.
All right. Titus, Mutai, get up for Titus. Ruth Nyambura, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, moderator. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. My opponent didn't even identify who he is. Kipkorir Kipchumba, you look like you've been in parliament since 1992. So I'll start with telling you guys a bit about myself. My name is Ruth Nyambura, aka Good Girl Ruru. I'm a citizen and a patriot of this beautiful country. Born from a humble background. My bribes have started working, thank you. An obedient child, a family woman, a loving wife, a doting mother, a prayer warrior. A respectful Proverbs 31 side chick. Let me tell you what I've done for this country. I have served for over 20 years, partly in the public service and also in the private sector. Private sector. But let me tell you guys, tonight, it's not about me.
No.
Tonight is a defining night. Yes. Because it's for you guys. For you. It's all for you guys. It's time for you guys to decide for your future. The future of your children. Because this country where we are, we're in anguish. We're in turmoil. We're in circumventualish. Our youth are devastated. Wamama, they're angry. The men, they're hopeless. And that's why I'm sacrificing myself. I'm sacrificing for this amazing country. I'm sorry, I'm weeping a bit because...
Ruth Nyambura! Woo! Oh. She's getting your emotions.
It's for the love of this country.
Yeah, hallelujah. Now we're gonna proceed.
Wait
okay, sorry,
It's just, I'm sorry, it was just a moment of weakness because women are more emotional than men. But I'll tell you this, I'm here because my party that runs on Pokea Nyota believes that it's time for Kenya to go back to its former glory. It's time for Kenya to shine again, brighter than my opponent's bald head. Because... But as I'll share in my manifesto what my government will do, you guys will get to decide whether you want maendeleo or kurudi nyuma. Under my regime, we'll move Kenya to the next level. We have heard of let's make Nairobi work again. But for me, I'm taking us to the next level. We're going to make Kenya to work again. Amani ajema, guys. So as a patriot of this country, a modern day freedom fighter, I will end with my campaign song that is a prayer for this nation that says, Twajivunia Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, Kenya tunayoipenda
daima,
Kenya tunayoipenda Kenya tunayoipenda.
Daima.
Na Ruth rais wetu.
Kenya. Daima. Ruth Nyambura, everyone. Ruth Nyambura. All right, guys, because this is a difficult task, we'll go straight to the questions. We won't give them an opportunity to bamboozle us with the chaos. We'll go to the tough questions and watch them answer them. Then you will use that to decide who you vote for today. So as a presidential aspirant, what is the platform you are running on, Ruth?
Mambo ni mangapi? Mambo ni mangapi? Cheni niwaambie mambo haya matatu. My party is running on the platform of three things. We're going to have reforms, we're going to have transformation, and we're going to have devolution. Let me start with reforms. This country is going backwards because we don't have renewed uniforms. Okay? Have you ever asked yourself, when Honorable late Mishuki brought uniforms to the transport industry, he brought development and there was peace. Yeah? Look at the police officers. With their new uniforms, they have been rated as the best police in East and Central Africa. Yeah? But ask yourself, why hasn't KQ ever made a profit? They don't have new uniforms. They don't have new uniforms. But in my government, I'm going to set aside 3.26 billion to bring in innovative uniforms for everyone, to civil servants, to politicians, even to M-Pesa ladies. On to my next point, transformation. In my government, we're going to set aside 4.7 billion. I've talked to the IMF people seated at the back there. They're going to supply us. And they're going to supply us with enough money to buy transformers, because that's what we need for transformation. Have you seen what is happening to transformers in Kenya? They are being vandalized by these hooligans who are making chipomwitu. But in my regime, every person will have a transformer. I'm taking transformers to Sanford, to Altona, to Imbis. Even Mama Oliech is gonna get a transformer. Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah!
Yeah? And this brings me to my final point, devolution. As we are taking transformers everywhere to the grassroots, we are going to devolve not just the essential ministries, even every ministry has to go to the county. Every person has to feel the impact. So in my government, we're going to have 4 quiver lounges. Wait. In Garissa. But next door. Tano. In Bomet. Koinange streets. Ngapi? In Wajir.
That's it! Woo, Mheshimiwa! Take it away.
So I'm not even going to dignify what she's just talked about for the last couple of minutes. And the reason is, I have a better platform, which is why you should consider. She was given an opportunity to platform the women of Kenya. And she just threw away that opportunity to talk about Kenyans twerking. In my government, in fact, my pillar or my strong platform for this campaign is women empowerment. We all know that the women of Kenya have unparalleled leadership qualities that are unexploited. But we also know another reality, that politics is a very dirty game. Why would we take our very dignified women and throw them in a dirty game? In fact, if there is one thing I want you to think about when you go home tonight, is the fact that A vote for me is not even a vote for me. It's actually a vote for the women of Kenya. In fact, the idea for me to run for president was not even my idea. This is my wife's idea. And we know, even voting for me wouldn't be the first time we are having a female president of Kenya. The first female president of Kenya was frustrated. She was not supported. You guys remember what happened to Lucy Kibaki, our first female president. So, please, don't waste your time. We have given them an opportunity to tell us what they would do for the women of Kenya. They do not have any idea. They are clueless, rudderless, I would even dare say shameless. I rest my case.
Aha! All right. Rested case. Now, since we are here, when it comes to running for political office, do you think gender matters?
Yes, I have an agenda for the people of Kenya.
Oh,
I have an agenda.
we meant gender.
Oh,
Meant gender.
you okay. Now, if you are talking about gender, the women things, eh?
Yes.
I'll give her the chance to tell us what she has for the women of Kenya. It's gender women.
Gender, mambo ya wanawake.
As you have seen from my opponent, he doesn't know the difference from gender and agenda. How was he sent by women? Women know their vocabulary.
Exactly. That is why I love my wife very close to me, advising me.
I think I should be debating your wife instead of you then.
Actually, the idea was for me to, the love I have for my wife, I cannot allow her to enter into such a dirty, cruel, indecent, unhygienic game of politics. It is out of the fact that I care about my wife that I'm taking on this responsibility on behalf of my wife, but not my wife alone, my daughter and the women of Kenya across all the 47 counties. In fact, I would dare say this. The best person to platform the women of Kenya is a man. They can't platform themselves, as we have seen in this very debate.
I think we are going off topic. The question was about gender matters.
Yes,
and
that's why I left it for you to
thank you for that insult
educate
to
the members
women.
of the public. Sorry for my interference.
Thank you for insulting the women of Kenya. On that question, Mr. Speaker, sir, we have seen 5 male presidents in this country. What have they done? We still have corruption. Yeah. We still have poor infrastructure.
Yes.
We still have poor health. As you can see, my opponent with Kwashiako. Don't you guys think? Let's be sober. Let's be sober for a minute. Don't you guys think it's about time women are on top? Sorry, at the top? At the top? Did you guys just see that? Are you too tired? Wanawake hoye. Wanawake tialala. Wanawake tibim. Thank you.
I was going to make this debate about issues. But now, since we are degenerating into non-issues, I would also want to say my opponent here is not as clean as she wants you to believe. I'll not get into the aferifera's fair for aferifera's appetite for fair. As documented by the boy child community in Kenya. She is responsible for at least 17 depressions just in Roysambu. Men who have sent fare and their fare has been eaten. Now you are going to pay your taxes. I guess I know what will happen to your taxes. What happened to the fares of the 17 gentlemen who've been sending fare consistently will happen exactly to your taxes. A vote for me is a vote for the women of Kenya. They were
empowering the Kenya woman. That's what they were doing with fair. Empowerment.
Okay, let's switch gears. How will you tackle the issue of police brutality in Kenya?
That is very easy. Mambo ni mangapi? Any police found exercising brutality will either leave Kenya, go to jail, or go to heaven. I will deal with them perpendicularly, vertically, horizontally, and ruthlessly. On those three things, the first one is I'm going to export them to Haiti. Secondly, I talked about uniforms. I'm sticking to issues. They're going to be given new uniforms without pockets. And thirdly, I'm going to ban all 50 bob Kenya shilling notes. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to say it's not all our police officers who are brutal or corrupt. In fact, I would be doing a disservice to the police of Kenya if I do not say that I want to commend the very good officers who are doing a wonderful job dealing with illicit brew. But having said that, the allegations of police brutality are rumors, hearsay, innuendo, propaganda, and half-truths that have no basis at all. In fact, our police officers might be forceful, but it's a police force. What did you expect? But that cannot be conflated to mean brutality. In fact, I will make our police officers more friendlier. Whenever we will create a hug force. Police officers who will be dedicated to hugging Kenyans going through hard economic times. Because, look at this gentleman sitting right here. He would definitely do with an hug. But since we have an irresponsible government that has not thought of investing in hugs for men like this guy. What's your name, gentleman?
Hug him! Hug him!
I will ask my friend to demonstrate our maternal instincts by hugging this young gentleman right here. So that we know that we are entrusting our responsibility or the responsibility of leading this country to the right person.
As he has demonstrated, women are the best huggers. Thank you.
All right. All right. Seeing that the government's stance is that there is no funding, what will you do? How will you resolve the doctors' strike, seeing that?
My government will not negotiate with terrorists or doctors.
Wow.
In fact, my reluctance to interfere with the doctors' strike is born out of the fact that we need more Kenyans to go into private hospitals. We need to spur growth in the private sector. How do we spur growth in the private sector if the government is competing for the same services with the private sector within the country? So we will not allow, and I say this, we will not allow doctors to blackmail us. In any case, Kenya is already replete with a lot of talent in terms of medical field. There are so many wagangas that could benefit from doctor strikes.
But
other than that, we will have a robust health system. Robust is where all the details are. And it will be launched on the 16th of October as soon as I get office.
Ruth?
Thank you for that. I'm going to employ you under the Ministry of Health because you look like you're a good person I can employ as a minister. We'll just put you there.
And by the way, if doctors are so worried that they are being underpaid, can you imagine Kenyans are complaining that intern doctors are being paid 70 million? Just go to Uganda here. That is 15 million. And we are complaining about Kenyans being paid 70 million. 70 million.
70,000.
But it's 15 million in Uganda. And if you are totally dissatisfied with the salary that we pay you as the Kenyan government, you can join politics. Have you ever heard Dr. Boni Galwale complaining about his pay?
Yeah. You're really dying.
Have you ever heard Dr. Mukisa Kitui complaining about his pay? There you go. The issues that I'm speaking about are issues that are within the Kenyan society. You could just hear somebody responding to that.
Okay.
In my government, I'm going to stick to real issues. I don't understand why we are spending money and we have cheaper and efficient doctors. As we are speaking, I've already started talks with President of Tanzania, a woman, to bring, let me get the figures right, 3,621 waganga kutoka Pemba. Internally, I have sourced for 462 witch doctors from Kitui. I have
Internally.
573 from Kisii on standby. As I said, my government is about devolution. Wananchi hoye, wananchi tibim, wananchi tialala.
Okay. Actually, do you guys think, where you are, because I'm just trying to go back. Do you guys think women have a role to play in this country in moving it forward? Because I didn't hear you articulate it. Without don't divert. Can you address it?
No, of course,
Our
of
women-
course.
And
of
don't
course.
die with your
Of
life.
course,
The role of women is very critical in this country. Women are the foundation of this country.
Okay.
I am going to reduce the price of foundation and makeup by 43%. I'm going to empower the girl child by protecting them from all the brayos and kevos. Because family is very important for me, And what I'm going to do is this. Every brayo in a Subaru going to Naivasha is going to have to produce a certificate of good conduct from his wife.
From the wife.
From his wife. At the police at Kinungi. Thirdly, I said mambo yangu ni ngapi? Matatu. Last point. If someone sends you 2K urgently, they will no longer be able to reverse. I'm empowering the girl child.
On my part, I think our women are the biggest asset we have as a country. They are very aggressive, they are very progressive and passionate, especially when asking for 2K urgently. But over
Empowerment.
above that, our women are very experienced, wako na ujuzi. The only thing they don't have is tajriba.
Why you keep using tajriba? What is that?
I have no idea, but our women could do with it.
So specifically, what's your stand on the 2/3 gender rule? It was meant for diversity, but what's your stand on it?
Some rules are meant to be broken because they are simply barriers to progress. Why are we restricting our women to only 2/3 gender rule? I believe they should have 3/3, 4/3, 5/3, 6/3, 7/3. In fact, we shall make our constitution so that our women become 7/3 gender rule women.
Then Proverbs 31 gender rule women. I feel like it's chaotic. I have to stand.
Thank you for saying that. That means more women in power and more women as presidents.
Exactly my platform.
So I want to say this to address the 2/3 gender rule. When you look at those numbers, 2/3, it means 1 woman to 2 men. That's what it means. Yeah. I don't know if my opponent knows a bit of maths,
Wow. Okay.
but that's what it means.
All
From
right.
his D+ from Kapsabet, I don't think he understands this, but that's what it actually means. So when we talk about 2/3 gender, I'm not even going to address about the fractions. I'm going to include every person. I'm going to include half gender, full gender, quarter gender, 1/8 gender. I'm going to go to the granular and the nitty-gritties of gender to address these things for the nation.
All right.
Yeah.
Gen Z president. All right. Foreign policy. Tell us that.
That's very easy, eh?
Yes.
As I mentioned earlier, what I will do about the foreign policy is that they are going to... I mean, we've seen there are vacancies all over. It's not Haiti, Iran, everywhere there are vacancies. So I'm going to send them there so that they can exercise their specialized skills in bribe collection. Because we need this foreign currency. Sindio? Ama namna gani, guys? Sindio? Kabisa.
I think this is a very important question. It goes to the cost of living. I will make sure that there is enough supply of foreign in the Kenyan market so that it will lower the cost of living within the country. Those are just some of the things my administration will do. But we will also have a lot of incentives in terms of tax cuts for people dealing in foreign.
Bwana moderator, I think we need to call DCI back. Because
Yes,
what are these we are talking about?
This is not yet
We are
legal.
a praying nation. We are a prayerful nation.
You see, as a president, you can talk about illegalities and everything else. But there is a current issue about the cost of living that I have to address myself to. I cannot be responsible. And by the way, I'm ready to make all the right decisions. And I'll take the blame.
Will you?
Yes.
Okay. Now that we are saying about blame, how will you deal with corruption?
By not
is a
voting
very
for him.
important-
Both of you have been seen in the vicinity of corruption. What will you do about
That is a very important question, Jeff. Sorry.
No, not Jeff.
But I have a plan to deal with corruption. Turns out that we have been dealing with corruption the wrong way all this time. Actually, the best way to deal with corruption is not to deal with corruption. Just make it accessible for everybody in Kenya. So we will devolve corruption. You will be reporting to your chief. The chiefs will be allowed to take corruption so long as it is reflected in the national GDP. That is the only way we grow our GDP, by the way. We need innovative solutions for serious challenges.
Okay.
I'm very disappointed with my opponents with such sentiments. How I'll deal with corruption? I will deal with it mercilessly, ruthlessly, Titusly. Let me tell you these figures. Corruption is currently costing Wanjiko 20 billion in Kenya a year.
That's Wanjiko alone.
Thank you, sir. But as the first female president of Kenya, I'm going to take this to greater heights, to 50 billion a year. Because what a man can do, a woman can do better. Wanawake hoye, wanawake tibim, wanawake tialala.
Okay, what do you promise to accomplish within the first 100 days of you in office?
You said 100 days.
Yes.
100 days or months.
100 days.
in office, yes. What are you going to accomplish? What can
Once
you
I
promise?
win, I'll need to negotiate an handshake with my partner here who will lose. The first 100 days will be used for negotiations. In fact, anyway, we will do a lot in the 100 days, just that the 100 days will not be consecutive.
I think that I can agree with my opponent.
You agree on that?
Finally,
All
we
right.
agree.
Surely.
On something.
I mean, 100 days, surely. 100 days, what will you do? 100 days is not enough even for an MP to build a footbridge.
Yeah,
I
no.
need time. 100
You're
days.
right.
It is
You're
time
right.
for me to go and do my Thanksgiving ceremony at home.
Right.
It is time for me to bring Benihin for prayers.
Yes.
It is time for me to buy independent candidates.
Yes.
I also need to give my opponent time to go back to Supreme Court. You
Yes.
know, there's so many things.
So,
100 days is not enough.
so it even sounds like, I don't even think 5 years is enough. Is it enough?
No, I think
No,
four,
actually,
four
four-
terms.
Huh?
4 terms, eh?
4 times. 4 times is the right.
Minimum.
We know this. We have an association of presidential.
You have an association of presidential candidates,
Yeah,
and you
for
agree
promotion.
on the same
Yes.
general things.
Nitakuweka prime minister wewe.
Who you?
Ukicheza.
All right, truce is coming along. We might have a government by the end of this debate, I think. Okay, it's really, this is the first time we've had, okay, it's not the first time, but a debate between a male and a female. Are you familiar with the gender pay gap?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How will you address
this
that?
Gender pay gap has been a very big issue.
Yes.
And I want to explain it today. This gap in payment, let me simplify this for my opponent.
Okay.
The issue with the gender pay gap is what gender pays for what. There's lack of clarity there. So in my government, I'm going to change things, clarify these things for both genders. In my government, men will no longer be paying for salon, paying for Uber, sending 2K urgently. No. And I will not forget the women, because they're also being exploited. Women will not be paying Ben 10s at buying PS5s, Air Jordans, what. This gender pay gap thing, I have it all together.
Okay.
It's just time to implement. That's all I need.
All right, thank you.
I think it's quite shameful that women earn 70% of what their men counterparts earn. I feel like they should earn 60 or 50%. And before you say I have something against women, I really do not have anything against women.
Okay.
It's the logic. Just hear me out.
Okay.
When you pay a woman, they will go and take care of their families, which is a good thing. I'm not doubting that. But when you pay a man, they will not only take care of their families, they will also take care of a student in Roysambu who requires fare from time to time. So, I believe paying more men is the only and surest way of empowering more women overally. And these things are not going to come easy, by the way. These things are not going to come easy.
Okay.
The struggle has just begun. We are yet to experience a lot of opposition from people who do not want to empower women. And for them, we will tell them, bado mapambano.
I believe the women in Roysambu are being catered for by the Nigerians. I don't know why we are talking about this issue.
So we're going, that is foreign
policy.
It
Foreign
is
policy,
exactly
okay.
the ones I brought to increase supply.
All right, let's finalize. Final question. How will you deal with the high rate of unemployment?
That in fact, is something very close to my heart,
Okay.
There are not enough women in parliament or in the cabinet. I'm going to employ all the babes in the ministries, in the cabinets, because babes are the future of this country.
Okay.
Secondly,
Word.
I'm going to formally employ the Kenyans on Twitter to fight our national wars. Because why are we sending soldiers to Somalia, to Haiti? KOT inatosha. Ama ni aje, guys? I've consulted professionals in this area. I talked to Pastor Kemboi, who said, watu watapokea nyota ya kazi. And that's enough. Because with my opponent here, mtapata tu eclipse ya kazi.
Eclipse ya kazi.
I think we have to deliberate about what we do to create jobs for our country. Right now, I'm here asking for a job, and you're asking me to think about other people who want a job. How fair is that? If you Kenyans want jobs, they should apply and search. You see, we should not always be asking the government, what will you do for us? Do something for the government. Look for a job. I'm here looking for a job. That's not a fair question. I feel like that question has been brought with the aim of slighting my chances to become the president of the Republic of Kenya, which in the long run is basically an effort to suppress the women of Kenya.
Okay, closing remarks before these people decide. Are you guys almost ready to vote? Yeah, ready, right? Closing remarks very quickly. Make it very quick.
I said, as I started, mambo ni matatu. I'm standing on reforms, transformation, and devolution. Nimeongea juu ya nyota. Nyota ya kazi itawapata. Nyota ya pesa itawapata. Nyota ya mapenzi itawapata. I want to go back to our constitution. Article 57 of our constitution says, you cannot give a person from Western Kenya a chicken for a pet because they will eat it. That is what will happen when you give my opponent your vote. Because if you leave this country to be run by hooligans, As former Governor Lonyangapuo said, kijana fupi amenona round. Molmol was. Walai, kitawaramba. Twajivunia Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, Kenya tunayoipenda daima, na Ruth rais wetu, na Kenya yetu. Thank you.
Guys, we are here to discuss serious issues. There is a battle ahead of us, and we are singing joyful songs here. I feel like the right song to sing for this particular occasion is Vijana tusilale, lale lale, vijana tusilale, bado mapambano, mapambano, mapambano.
Okay.
Bado mapambano.
We're gonna decide.
Wacha wamama wasikie. I am your candidate. Remember, wamama wamama. Kura kwa Tito.
All right, guys, time to vote. If you think Ruth won this round of the debate and is fit to be your president, give it up for Ruth Nyambura. All right. All right. And if you think
before the results are announced, there is an issue here.
This,
the results cannot be declared.
Wait, let me finish.
We are not going to accept.
No, let me finish.
Our democracy.
Let me finish. Let me just call the vote. Let me just call the vote. If you think Titus won this round of the debate,
by the way,
Titus.
If the
okay. We're going to announce the debate.
No.
I am contesting.
No. Okay, wait. We are trying to settle down. Settle down, guys. Settle down.
No. Fungua sava. No. We want square and fair. Go to court if you have a problem. Go to court if you have a problem. Wewe, endeni kotini. Watu waende kotini.
Thank you very much. Show. We don't have a result. We do not have a result. Everything has been compromised. Thank you very much. That's the highly debatable, guys. Show. We don't have a debate. We don't have a winner for that one. Just like we never have a winner for any election. The Kenyans lose and everyone loses. Thank you very much, guys. That's a highly debatable show.